I quit the corporate job and then came to USA. At the beginning, it was very challenging. One of the mentors suggested Facebook ads. It's a persimmon soap to eliminate body odor associated with aging. We did last year 3 million plus, optimizing the little things, small things that accumulates to bigger success. Employee-generated content, we show our behind the scene. Like they think it was a winner. At the beginning, you have to test like everything, bunch of random idea to find out which one works. Recently, we are testing a lot of tech that might be, hopefully, this year's breakthrough. This piece of soap is very expensive. So the challenge is that we have to do a lot of education. But through DSP, we can find quality buyers, people who prioritize quality over price. Lots of people make a mistake by selling something you like instead of reverse engineering.
Which one would you say has been the single largest contributor towards, the $3 million that you did last year?
Hello and welcome to the DTC Daily Podcast. Every week, we interview some of the best e-commerce founders and dive deep into their key growth drivers, uncovering actionable insights that you can implement in your business. But before we jump into today's conversation, a quick thank you to our friends at Saral. Most brands get influencer marketing wrong. They think paying a creator for a single post will spark a sales spike. That simply doesn't work. Successful brands like Graza, Obvi, and Hexclad are forging genuine partnerships. And that's where Saral comes in. It's your go-to platform for partnering with the right influencers, tracking results, and managing everything in one place. Book a demo at getsaral.com/demo, mention us, and get an extended free trial exclusive for our listeners.
Hey, Coco. Welcome to the DTC Daily Podcast. How are you doing today?
Wow, thank you for having me.
Before we get started with this podcast, could you tell our audience a little bit more about your business?
Yes, I'm the founder of Miraclinical. It's a soap company, this one. It's a persimmon soap to eliminate, this is a persimmon fruits, and our products help you feel clean, fresh, confident. And our targets are mature women to eliminate body odor associated with aging body odor. That's our focus.
Awesome, man. That's a pretty narrow niche that you've got there. Could you tell us a little bit about some of the milestones that you've hit along the way and where you guys currently are?
Yes, we did last year 3 million plus, but it took a long time. I'm Japanese. I was working for corporate in Japan when we started this business. Then at the beginning, of course, it's not going anywhere. So 7-8 years ago, I quit the corporate job and then came to USA, California, to be serious about my American dream. But then at the beginning, it was very challenging because I didn't know how to do it. But as we move on, I learned the concept of learning from other mentors. And one of the mentors suggested Facebook ads. So that was kind of a tipping stone to scale that helped us to grow big.
So what would you say, looking back at this journey, would you say Facebook ads has been the single largest growth driver for your business?
It's not the single one. It's one of the multiple ones. So Facebook ads was one of them, but learning from other mentors, communities to do micro optimization, A/B testing, so many things, including like logistics or shipping or HR or legal, a lot of things. Optimizing the little things little by little. I think that was, it's not that big, but that accumulates, small things accumulates to bigger success.
And in terms of channels of revenue, which one would you say has been the single largest contributor towards the $3 million that you did last year?
You mean like a Shopify or Amazon?
Both sales channels as well as marketing channels, if you could touch upon both.
Yeah, we are around 47% Amazon and 53% Shopify. And like Walmart, a little bit tiny ones, very, very little. So we don't really count. But those are the big ones. Yeah. And in terms of marketing, paid ads, Facebook is big, maybe like 50% plus. But now we are more investing in Google. Google has been more efficient too. So Facebook and Google, those are big ones. And due to the nature of our audience who are mature, we haven't touched much TikTok yet. We did test like Reddit ads or TikTok, Bing, Microsoft. We do a lot of things, but so far main things are Google and Facebook.
Awesome. And just to dive a little deeper into Facebook, so what has worked for you the most on Facebook ads?
Facebook, we do a lot of UGCs, including recently AI UGC. When we tested AI UGC, sometimes better result than human UI UGC. So we still work with the human UGCs, but the percentage is very decreased. Most of the ads creative are more AI UGCs. And also we started EGC, which is employee generated content. So that's being used for ads. EGC means we show our behind the scene. Like myself, I'm not a founder. So I go to the warehouse and then introduce some products or our challenges with some technology or so many behind the scenes.
You mentioned that AI UGC has been working really well for you. Were you guys able to figure out what is it about the AI UGC that's been working really well for you? Have you been able to get to the bottom of that?
I think so. There are two reasons. One is we can control the script easily. And we can put some green background and then change the background or something. It's much easier to edit and it's much faster to source and edit. Number two, I think the AI, it's much more cost effective. So we can test more to find the better winners. Facebook, we have to test a lot of things. Then which one wins, which one loses. We're doing those testing all the time, and it's much faster if we do from AI. I think those are the reasons why AI UGC is winning.
And could you walk us through the testing process that you guys follow? How are you designing the test? What are the different elements in an ad that you're testing out? If you could just walk us a little bit deeper into the testing process that you guys follow.
Yes, we work with the media agency, media buyer. So they test a bunch of stuff and they find what kind of contents are winning. So they tell us, oh, we want this kind of content. For example, they told me to do some like a fake interview, like I'm answering question to a big audience. They liked it. They think it was a winner. So I did the fake interview again. And we have a Trello card, Trello board, Trello, like Asana or Monday.com, those communication tools. So each board, this board is idea board. And the next board is in progress. We are working on it. We are making it. The next board is testing phase. And the next one is winner. And then there's next one is a winner turned loser, because there's a fatigue always, and then loser. So we move around. Each card is a different idea, different footage or video or still image. And then it moves around from idea phase to loser or winner, hopefully winner, that kind of thing. So that we can see in one page visually, it's easier.
And what are the kind of ads? Are you testing different creative concepts? Are you testing different messaging? Are you testing different hooks? Could you just go a little deeper into, what exactly are the elements that you're testing? And also, how do you figure out where to start testing or what you should be testing?
At the beginning, you have to test like everything, bunch of random idea to find out which one works. But for us, we've been doing Facebook maybe like 4 years ads. So we know kind of like, for example, we target mature women like 60 years old or plus. So they may be interested in menopause. So there's a menopause angle and aging body odor angle. And we tested male, but didn't work. So those two, menopause and aging body odor, those two are big ones. And then once we know which one works, we iterate. variation from that. For example, aging odor, the still image, but cartoon looking, for example, or my science focus or more emotional focus, that kind of thing. It has a variation.
And how do you guys test between, let's say, UGC and when to do EGC?
EGC, the way we test is first we put on social media, our Facebook or Instagram or something. And then if the content has a lot of engagement, comments or likes or something, and then we use it for ads. First, we test free on social media because it doesn't cost anything. And then if it becomes more engagement, we call it winner social media. And then we bring the idea to our social media marketing agency, media buyer, because we have so many ideas, but we don't want to propose loser idea. So we test on our social media first and then goes to media agency, creative team.
Awesome. And what does your Google strategy look like? And, how is Meta and Google working together? Are they working in isolation? Could you walk us a little through the Google strategy as well?
Yeah, of course they work together, but we think Facebook is more like a newer audience, new customers, and Google is more retargeting. So we have a team, different agencies for each, but we have a Slack channel to communicate each other. So once a week or something, we have a paid media marketing, and we constantly test a lot of technology too. Recently, we are testing a lot of tech to exclude some unengaged audience or recover new emails or a lot of technologies. And that might be, hopefully, this year's breakthrough. I hope. We just started, so I don't know yet. But instead of relying on our sweat or effort, it's important to find a good technology to scale.
So are you using tools for attribution or what kind of tools are you using?
Triple well. Attribution is triple well. We used to do Northbeam, but there was some issue with Northbeam, so last year we switched to triple well. And triple well has a lot of attribution. One thing it's missing is DSP. It's a Amazon marketing channel campaign called DSP. I think it's a new thing. I actually don't know what DSP means, display something, but DSP is missing from triple well. So that would be my request to triple well. But it covers a lot of things, including Bing, Reddit. So far it's good. Yep.
And currently Google is just for retargeting. Are you doing some keyword-based, interest-based targeting? I mean, not interest, like keyword-based targeting, or is it just retargeting for now?
Yeah, display ads and YouTube and everything for new customers too. Mostly for returning customers, but we need to scale. That scale. We need good new customers. Once we have good new customers, our repeater rate is like 40%. So once we get new ones, we can keep them for a long time. So we need to have new customers. That's our challenge. NC ROAS, new customer ROAS. That's our challenge. Yeah, to scale.
Yeah, that's the common struggle that we see across most e-commerce brands, especially once you've crossed a couple of $1 million, the biggest struggle is getting new customers, because the Meta and Google algorithm tends to favor existing customers because they feel that there's a higher chance of them converting. And it kind of, as you start scaling, it starts delivering your ads to lesser, newer people, and it's trying to, obviously deliver to the same people. So what are you guys doing to, what practices do you have in place to make sure that, at least some of your ads are going out to newer audiences?
That I actually don't know. I should know. That would be a question to my media buyer, but we are heavily started investing Amazon to DSP, minimum 10K ad spend. Yeah, that's a big change. So hopefully we get more new ones, new customers. from Amazon. But honestly, I don't know how to get the new customers for Shopify in a drastic way. I am still figuring out. I would appreciate people's advice.
Yeah, I think one of the ways we'll end up doing it is through audience exclusions, But yeah, I mean, people have many more creative ways of putting it together. Could you talk?
That's why we started that. That's why we started a new technology to exclude some audience. So hopefully that tech would work. We'll see. We've been just doing like a couple weeks so far. So our media buyer likes it. We'll see.
Yeah. Could you walk us through your Amazon strategy a little bit? What are you doing to scale on Amazon?
Amazon, we've been doing a long time, maybe like 7 years or so. And finally, we are doing a new campaign called DSP campaign, the one minimum 10K. Yeah, that one we had to work with agency, DSP authorized agency. So those are American agency, and hopefully it will work to scale. But the challenge for us is, as you said, we are niche market, the soap to eliminate body odor associated with aging. This is not just regular soap, and it's expensive, $17.97. And I think it's more expensive on Amazon. So this piece of soap is very expensive, and the market is very, very niche. So the challenge is that we have to do a lot of education. And also, once we get the education, because this is so expensive, once people know about this concept, aging body odor, they buy cheaper version. We have some competitors, although this is niche market. We have some couple slightly bigger, I mean, not as big as us, but competitors. And then people tend to buy cheap soap, of course. So that's our challenge. But through DSP, we can find quality buyers, people who prioritize quality over price. So I'm really hoping that would work. That's our 2025 strategy. Yeah.
Yeah. And for some of the newer brands that are watching this podcast, could you give them some advice on, how should they get started with Meta ads or Google ads, and what should their strategy be?
Yeah, I think lots of people make a mistake by selling something you like instead of reverse engineering. Like, I got this idea from a Japanese job market. In Japan, this kind of a persimmon soap is very, very popular for aging body odor. It's a well-known concept. That's why I foolishly brought that concept to USA. But then that was a mistake. I had to make the market from scratch. So don't do that. Don't believe that just because one product is popular in one country doesn't mean that it's going to be popular in the United States or something like that. Yeah. Also, I didn't do media buying. I asked the agencies. And we've been working with many agency media buyers. And the reason why we had to switch is that sometimes some media buyers are very good. Sometimes they're not good. As you grow different stage, you need different talent. Because one first media buyer may be good at, I don't know, less than $500,000. But then as you move on, you need a different media buyer who is good at around 1 million, for example. And then as you become bigger, you need different.
Also, could you actually give our audience some idea on what do you do to get the best output from your media buyer?
I think over communicate. Communicate. And then very often, media buyer, it's not just media buyer, everyone, but in our culture, if someone said, oh, I will do this delivered by Wednesday, we have to get delivered by Wednesday. So once we find that this talent, this member tends to delay, tends to overstate and don't deliver. Once we know that person's habit, we will remind the person one day before or something like that. And we try to train the person to our culture. The media buyer has to keep up with it. And if you cannot, we will have to move on.
So you've hit some great milestones, as you mentioned at the beginning of the podcast that, you guys have, you've hit 3 million last year. For some of the early stage brands, could you just walk us through what it's like to get to $3 million, and along the way, what are some of the challenges that, that a brand would face, let's say when to hit the first $100,000, then to get to 500,000, maybe to get to $1 million. What has that journey been like? And, what are some of the challenges that come along the way, to getting to a number like 3 million?
Mm-hmm. I'm such a loser in e-commerce. I'm not talented because it took like 10 years to get 1 million. Not 1 million, but it's been like 10 years to get to 3 million. If you take 10 years to get 3 million, I think you're a loser, and I am a loser. Yeah, but we didn't give up. And then it takes time. And lots of e-commerce successful people, took like 3 years to get to 1 million or something like that. Like rapid growth. It didn't happen to me. But if you don't give up, it will get there. But not just working hard. But you have to be smart. You have to learn from other mentors, and then a lot of technology that we have to test and fail and test and fail. A lot of testing and errors to find the right fit. So and the Facebook ads, because at the beginning I didn't know there's such thing as Facebook ads. I didn't know 10 years ago. And I was still in Japan. I was like a corporate job person in Japan. So I didn't know anything about e-commerce, although I was doing it. Yeah, it takes time. But as long as you find good technology, good team members, and then it will get there. But don't be discouraged just because you don't get to 1 million within 2 years. That's only for TikTok. People who show off. That's not the majority, I don't think.
And, before we end this call, is there any last piece of advice that you would like to give some of the founders that are watching this call?
I think definitely EGC is a 2025 version of UGC. EGC, employee generated content. People want to see what's going on behind the scene. And it's easy because you don't have to hire a UGC creator anymore. And it's so more authentic because you don't have to use AI. You just do it by yourself. But that has been effective on our social media, so we will keep doing it. That's the thing you can do today.
Thank you so much for doing this. I think we've got some great information here.
Thank you. Thank you so much.